Hello, everyone, to another partnership chat here by Loncom Consulting. My name is Stefan, and I'm the CEO of Loncom Consulting. And in these partnership chats, we highlight our partners. And today, I brought here Brad from Remarkable Commerce. So, Brad, introduce yourself and Remarkable Commerce in short, please.
Hi, Stefan. Yeah, my name is Brad Houldsworth. I'm Sales and Strategy Director at Remarkable. My role is leading our sales and marketing activities. I build our brand and onboard clients to Remarkable, and I also lead on the strategic consultancy part of Remarkable as well. And I'll talk a little bit about Remarkable in a minute, but in a nutshell, we're an e-com agency with our own tech, in a nutshell.
Okay. Tell us a little bit more about that. I'm a big on options when you are there as an e-commerce brand, and there is a lot of, now people going towards SaaS or going to bespoke solutions, but you in reality are a mixture of all of that. And I think it's quite beautiful. And when we talked initially about it, is very interesting for me what you offer. And I see definitely that gap in the market, and I can see that then why you're having so much success. So can you tell us a little bit more, why do you classify yourself both as agency and tech at the same time?
Yeah. It's easier to describe ourselves as an agency because I think, firstly, there are a lot of them. I think a development agency are quite kind of understood in our world in terms of what we do and the way that we work and the way we operate. And our main point of difference as an agency is that we have our own platform, which is a unique thing in that there's only a handful in the UK. There used to be more. If you scroll back maybe 10 years or so, there used to be, I don't know, let's say 10, 20 odd agencies with their own technology, proprietary technology. Nowadays, though, there's probably only a few. And especially in our world where we're looking at more mid-market e-com, there's only really ourselves in that space doing it solely and just focus solely on it. So that's the kind of the uniqueness around the company being an agency, but also a tech provider. And we are a proper tech vendor as well. Like, we offer not just an e-com platform, which I'll talk about a bit more in a bit, but we also offer, warehouse management functionality. And we also, if you even go back, we're 25 years old as a company. If you scroll back a bit further, we've done things like, strange payroll systems and like random, e-learning systems and stuff. We've done loads of different software. And I think at the heart of who we are, that's that we're a software company and we enjoy building bespoke functionality for any type of company. And then that kind of bleeds into e-commerce because the platform that we offer and the technology we offer has a SaaS element to it, in that all of our clients have their core is the same, which means that we can introduce new functionality to that core and offer it to clients who want it. So that means that the platform can evolve over time. It doesn't stagnate. I won't name drop because I'm not into that, but there are some platforms in the market that can stagnate, and you look in their admin today, look at it 10 years ago, and it looks identical. I would like to think that ours isn't that. So there's an element of that SaaS piece, but also our core thing is that we are really flexible and bespoke, to your terminology. And that means to us that when a client comes on board with us, we configure and we tailor the platform admin, as in the portal, and the front end to be the exact requirements of what a retailer wants. And there's no limitation or restriction or saying, no, that's not achievable or not possible. We don't do that. It's a very kind of, it's like a tailor fit suit almost for a retailer, and we design the technology around the business rather than the business having to change the way they work to fit in with the functionality and the technology. If that roughly makes sense.
Yeah. No, I think what was very interesting when you were demoing the platform to me was that thing that we discussed and kind of laughed on, is that the companies out there are now used to what is possible and what is not possible with SaaS solutions. And then they're saying, oh, I bet this can't be there. But what you are then saying with Remarkable is yes, it can be there, which I think is a very unique approach, and that customization, personalization of the platform is something that is very much left behind, and SaaS is trying to catch up and try to give that customization. Especially some of the bigger platforms now coming up in the e-commerce world are trying to do that, but it's still not on that level, and it never will be at that level because they're trying to scale and get everybody, while they really focus on smaller amount of clients that are really kind of to prove that good work, which I absolutely loved. I'm gonna go a little bit. Sorry, go for it.
I was going to say, I think just on that, I think it's interesting how the market has evolved over the last 20 years. I think that we're conscious that the retailers that we're perfect for, I guess, are becoming harder to find because the world is kind of waking up to the benefits of SaaS, and they're waking up to the benefits of not only the benefits but also the cons also of the fact that SaaS technology works in a certain way. And I guess our big challenge and our kind of focus is about educating the industry to learn that it doesn't have to be that way, and that actually there is an alternative. And as those larger enterprises start to come a bit more into the mid-market, and also as the smaller players in the market start to push up a little bit, the kind of gap in the middle between small and enterprise actually starts to get a little bit more full with offerings and opportunities. And that's been a trend over the last 5 years. We're certainly competing more with larger technologies now than we ever used to. But that's not a bad thing. I think that's a good thing that we're playing in that market anyway.
Yeah, I think you're just to prove that there is democracy of choice out there in the e-commerce space, that you should not only go with the standard route that your friend from the pub told you that they would go with, that there is better solutions out there fit and to that unique processes, to unique needs of each of the businesses. I'm going to go a little bit now away from Remarkable, but has very much involved in that. What's your journey to Remarkable? So how did you get to the position right now?
Good question, Joe. I started in 2009 in the industry. I worked for a design agency in Manchester, and the agency was a pretty small agency, but we packed a punch. We had some really established clients, Manchester City Football Club, New Balance, MTV, and the agency were focused on designing and creating, back in the day, a lot of traditional advertising, but then also that started to bleed into more traditional digital marketing as well. So, display ads. And I learned back then around the art of messaging and how designs should look and how advertising, how that old world worked. I started there, and I spent a few years there learning that and learning traditional SEO and PPC and all those kind of those digital marketing channels. That was fun. I then moved to Nottingham and joined Remarkable in 2013 or 14, I think. And I built a digital marketing services team. So at the time, I think I was like the 15th member of staff in the agency. We're a development agency. And I built a marketing service function within the business. So we offered those channels that I've been learning, so SEO and PPC and affiliates. And I offered that to our existing clients, but also to businesses who weren't with Remarkable and, who had static websites or trade websites. And I built that up over a few years, and that became a decent part of the business. I then jumped ship and went to be a head of ecom for a education supplies company, which was super fun. I learned how to lead a team. I learned how to, we were using an enterprise ecom platform there. So I learned that, and I kind of got to grips with it and learned the flaws and the good bits of it as well. I learned how to kind of manage an agency, which I'd not done before. So putting the shoe on the other foot. I learned how to have a marketing agency in front of me and how to challenge them and how to push them. I did that for about a year, and that was really fun. Also, the education world is just mental. Like the trying to do trading and run an e-com business in education is just crazy. Really fun though. So I did that for a year, and then I got serenaded back to Remarkable, and I joined back in 2018, I think. And I then led a product team. So we created a suite of products. Back then, we didn't really have a fully fledged CMS, for example. So we built a page builder that ecom teams can jump into and drag and drop and create really nice, beautiful landing pages. We built that, and then we built a merchandising module and a site search tool and a few other things. And that was my first kind of focus as a kind of product manager. Did that for a few years. And then we decided, actually, let's just roll all of those things into our core platform. So it was like a really fast evolution and innovation phase of our platform, those few years. And then that kind of just fell into my current role. So I now lead on that sales and marketing piece and shouting about Remarkable and introducing our brand to everyone. But also on the strategic side, I'm still in really good contact with a lot of our clients. Because I think that's important when you're in a marketing role, is to actually understand your existing clients and not just the industry. Because sometimes I think businesses can confuse, I guess, what their perception of the industry is versus what the real need of it is. So I think it's really important for any agency or tech to be really, really connected with their existing clients. And I try really hard to do that. I work as a consultant, offering strategic work with a lot of our clients, just solely really to make sure I understand what their challenges are and their pain points, ultimately to support them and better use our platform, but then also to kind of market ourselves even better. So yeah, that's been the last sort of 15 years, I guess.
Yeah. So that's a journey. Okay. I love it. I love it. So many components, so many different roles, so much involved within Remarkable. But tell me now, coming back onto Remarkable, is looking at evolvement and progress and growth throughout all of these years. What would you say that right now are the main selling points of Remarkable? And what is the kind of the industry problems that you resolve that somebody would straight away, an e-commerce brand, a retail brand, come to you and say, solve me this problem, you're the right for it?
So I'll start with the challenges and what do we solve. So I think we solve we solve lots of things. The main ones in my head are, when people come to us, they often say three big things. They'll often say, our front-end website is really old. It is lacking in innovation. It relies on templates that are really rigid, and it's really dated. That's something we solve because we have UX designers in-house. We have a front-end team that can design a website that is completely unique. If you look at lots of websites, again, I'm not going to name names, of common platforms, they all use themes or templates that look the same. And you can look at 10 different websites and they all feel the same. They might have a slightly different design aesthetic, but the layouts, the UX, it's very similar. And there are many retailers in the UK that don't want to look like everyone else. They want to look slightly different and unique. And so we solve that by having the ability to create a storefront that is completely unique, including the checkout as well, by the way, not just the homepage. That's the big thing. That's the one thing that we solve. The second thing is interconnectivity between systems. And often, I'm sure you see this as well, like the connectivity between an e-com platform and ERP and maybe 3 or 4 other systems. The connection between those things is often quite limited or restricted because of technical reasons, like, data's not matching, or there's not a feed available to feed into that system, whatever it is, as a challenge. We often hear that system doesn't talk to that one because of something. That lack of connectivity is a big thing that we solve because of our capability. In the team downstairs here at Remarkable, we have 80 plus people who actually do that on a day-to-day basis. They're specialists in connecting systems together or working with third parties to make sure that that is feasible and achievable. The last one, just quickly, is the big thing that we solve is from an agency point of view. Lots of retailers come to us and say, our agency is awful. And although the platform is fine, we don't get what we need from our agency. We don't get any growth suggestions. We don't get any support. We have to raise a ticket, and then, a month later they'll reply. It's that poor account management on the agency side that we solve as well. And we do the opposite of all those things I just described. Yeah. And then selling points, just on the back of those, I would say that tailor approach of our platform is removes any restriction, any limitation. So anything you want is achievable. And the last thing is commercially, we are super different. So most platforms on the market charge some type of commission-based model. So they'll either take like a percentage of sales, or they'll take a fee based on your turnover in tiers or something like that. It's all based around revenue, which we just completely don't like. All of our commercial models are either retainer-based and it's service packages as an agency, or we have a model which is based on traffic, which is not revenue. So we have tiers of traffic, and we'll say here's a sensible monthly fixed fee, which we'll review annually based on traffic volume. It is the job of the retailer to then convert that traffic into revenue.
Those are it. Now, I think from my opinion is a lot of brands out there, especially those ones starting out and then later on established ones, are going to go for those e-commerce platforms that are marketed the most, right? And you can't compete, let's face it, this is just the reality. You can't compete with the big players in the game that have millions and millions of monthly budgets in order to push into marketing. But is that always the right choice? And I think the reason for why I like Remarkable also being, local to where I live, and you kind of, Nottingham-based company, and we kind of get on that side of things, and trying to also do something in the East Midlands and publish these amazing businesses. Apart from that, just on the technical and the spec point of view, we like that choice. And we as digital and data consultants, we always like to offer choices, because not everything is suited. Not that big, most famous e-commerce platform is for everybody. It's never going to be. And I think you're reflecting that in all of the selling points and all of the challenges that you also resolve as well. I would also like to know is, let's face it, e-commerce is a very competitive space these days.
Yeah.
What are the main challenges when it comes to talking about Remarkable, tech advancement, or anything of that sort that is happening? Do you currently face, and what is your plan to resolve them?
Yeah, well, as I said earlier, SaaS has become a thing over the last 5 or 10 years. Not became a thing as in like it's been created. I think the world has woken up to it being a thing. So more retailers are familiar now with what SaaS is and how off-the-shelf technology benefits them. That's a real challenge for us, because we have obviously to compete with that and explain the benefits of going down more of a customized route. So as that continues to evolve, we're going to be keeping pace with that, but also looking at how do we introduce elements of it, such as a plugin library or some type of, there's lots of ideas there, but that's one thing. The other thing is around AI, of course, and I think every man and his dog is talking about AI, has been over the last sort of 2 to 3 years. And of course, we're keeping pace with that. We've introduced OpenAI functionality into our core platform now. Did that a year or so ago. And there's on the roadmap is a list of AI functions that we're going to be introducing over the next sort of 6 to 12 months. So that's the kind of the technology challenge, but also as an agency, like most agencies that start to hit 100 people, which we're getting close to, you have those internal struggles. It's not just the technology and the product, but it's also the company. So it's trying to, you have those common challenges of recruitment and HR and the internal stuff that happens in a company of 100 people. With that comes challenges, and we have, nearly 100 clients that we have to service on a daily basis, making sure that resources is properly assigned, and all those sort of internal headaches are certainly a challenge. So mixture of both things, I would say.
Okay. Now, sounds interesting. Look, these are good problems to have when you have hundreds of clients, and then you have an ops problem that you need to assign all of that work. I would say that a good problem. I think I want to just touch a little bit on the partnership and why did we make it between Loncom Consulting and Remarkable. From my side and the team side here is we would say we love those options, and we constantly have clients saying, what should we do with our website? What should be our CMS? What should be our e-com platform? And we always like to give choice. So as soon as I've heard that you are completely different than any our other partners, I saw that as definitely an opportunity to work with you and all of that. So we are, I think, at the beginning, but many more, I think, light years are going to come there. So appreciate you kind of recognizing also the opportunity of the data and the systems that we are implementing as well. But I think from our side, Remarkable is an obvious choice for those customers out there looking for that customization, looking for a little bit of a better support and all-in-one tech and agency at the same time.
Completely agreed. And on my view, I would say that data is a hugely undervalued element of any business. It's the lifeblood, though, and businesses small and large should be properly thinking about data, not just in terms of like how to see a report, but how do you capture data? How do you store it? How do you analyze it? How do you then report on it? And then lastly, how do you actually action it? Because it's great having a monthly report, but so what? So it's that kind of follow-on action point that I think is incredibly important. And I do appreciate really the true benefit of working with a specialist in that field, such as you guys, because you deliver all of that, but also you deliver it in a specialist way that can be trusted and relied upon. And I've seen the benefit of that on your side. And from my point of view, I want our clients to start benefiting from that as well.
Okay. Cheers for that, Brad. Look, I'm not going to keep you for long, but we do have a theme of these partnership chats, which are 3 extremely quick questions, like 1 sentence answer. We're going to try to, after we complete all of them, there's 2 more left, to put them all into one kind of TikTok let's say style video. So I'm going to ask you the first one. This can be business related, personal related, e-com related, anything you want to talk about. If you had the magic wand, what would you change?
Okay. I'm going to steal this from someone that I heard the other day. I'll have to reference her later. She said, if I had a magic wand, I would not let anyone ghost me anymore. That's a personal one, because the volume of prospecting and people that we talk to and then ghost you after, 5 or 6 conversations is quite annoying. So I'd like to just magic that away and stop ghosting.
Yeah. Just to reply no is also fine. Stops me, repeating that.
That's all it needs.
Exactly. Cool. Okay. Coolest project you ever worked on and why?
We have a client called Pragnal, and they have product configurators where you can design your own bracelet and design your own necklace. And I supported the team on defining the functionality and the technology and the design and implementation and launch. And I really loved working on those. They were great.
Okay. Amazing. And then the last one, what's hot and what's not?
I'm going to stick to work related without getting, So what's hot, I think, is tracking and consent management. I think consumers are waking up to the benefit on also the reliance on tracking by sites and by apps. So consent management is really important. Also gamification, I would say, is hot because I think there's a lot of benefit and a lot of exciting stuff that you can do around gamifying a customer experience in lots of different industries. And what's not hot, I guess, is AI, because, starting to get a bit boring, isn't it?
Okay. Not the first one that answered that's not hot, but hey, that's maybe something to discuss. Brad, thank you very much for this. Can you just tell all the audience listening to this, how can they get in touch with you in Remarkable?
Yeah, sure. Grab me on LinkedIn or remarkablecommerce.com.
Okay, perfect. Thanks everybody for watching. If you gained something good out of this amazing video, which I'm sure you did, please click like and subscribe button. This helps our channel kind of keep on moving. We are going to do a lot of these other partnership activities highlighting our great partners. So Brad, thank you again, and thank you all for listening.